Hey guys, so today I'm doing my June wrap-up and my July to-be-read pile. So let's get started. Pretty much in June I read 6 books and I think that's pretty good, but I filmed that June TBR like pretty much when the month was over, so I didn't get a chance to read all of those books. So I've transferred those into my July TBR, and so there's a lot of books in my July TBR, but I'm hoping to be able to get through them. But anyways, we'll just start with the books that I read in June. So the first book that I read was City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, and I actually have 2 copies because I lost this copy. I left it at school and I didn't realize that I left it at school, so I thought I lost it. So then over the weekend I bought this one because I lost it on a Friday and I didn't want to wait until Monday to Tuesday because it was exam week. I didn't want to wait till Tuesday to read it, so my brother bought me one. So yeah, now I have 2 copies. I'm giving this one to the library downtown just because it's like a popular book, so I'm guessing a lot of people want to read it, and I don't even know if the library even has a copy. They probably do, but I think it'd just be nice to give it to the library so that other people can read it. So yes, anyways, I read this and I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was an amazing conclusion and I'm so excited for the next, what's it called? The Dark Artifices, I believe that's what it's called. I'm very, very excited for this, and yeah. I really loved Alex Sass in this book. He's just really awesome and I just really enjoyed it. I liked the length. It was a good size because it was kind of like, this is the end, guys. This is the end. It has to go out with a bang. And it did. Anyways, yeah. I read this. This was the first book that I read. The next book that I read was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and this was the June Booksplosion Book of the Month, I believe. And I give this a 4 out of 5 stars, 4.5, in that range. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know, I don't know. It was really good and it was really mind-boggling, but at the end I was like, what the heck did I just read? It's a very interesting experience. Yeah, and now that I'm reading all of these like theories for this, I'm starting to like it a bit more, so I think I'm giving this a 4.5, not just a 4, so yes. The next book that I didn't fully finish because I wasn't enjoying it, it was White Space by Ilsa J. Bick, and I got to here, page 288, and I don't know, I was just very confused. It didn't really like flow very well, I don't think. It was a great idea for a story, but I don't think it was executed very well. I just got very confused. I had no idea what's going on, and I'm still very confused, and so I just didn't want to finish it because I had other books that I wanted to read and I didn't want to take up the rest of the month trying to get through this because it wasn't something I was enjoying, and I was just kind of getting through it just to be able to say that I've read it. So yeah, which is a really big disappointment because I was really looking forward to this. Sad face. Maybe I'll try again in the future, who knows, but yes, I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. Probably I should have given it a 2, but I'm being nice here. So yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, sadly. The next book that I read was Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler, and the art was by Myra Kalman. But anyways, yes, I got the paperback version and I love this. It's so like soft. This book was so amazing. 5 out of 5 stars definitely, and I just loved it so much. The writing was amazing and I really like the pictures. This is about a girl named Min, and she and her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend Ed Slaterton, they just broke up, and she's giving him a box of items back with a letter explaining these items and why she's giving them back, and it was just so good. So I don't really know what it's like to break up with somebody or to be broken up with, but it hurt just reading this book, and especially the end when we find out what happened to make them break up, like the big thing. I was like so sad and I was so angry at a specific person, and it's just, so good. I think everybody needs to read this. Next, I read The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp, and I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really funny. I tabbed a bunch of parts. I just really overall enjoyed reading this. I really liked the main character, Sutter. He was pretty funny, and I actually really liked his character, and I liked Amy, but near the end I was kind of like, about Amy. The one thing that bothered me about this book that made me dock it half a star was the factor of the drunk driving, because this here, this like cup represents the 7-Up and like whiskey, I think, that Sutter always drinks, but he drinks it while he's driving, and like I understand that it's kind of like diluted from the 7-Up, but still you're like drinking, and like a lot of times they were driving drunk, which really bothered me, and he never really addressed it, I don't think, and so that kind of bothered me because drunk driving is bad and nobody should do it. And I don't really like how it ended. I wanted more closure with the characters, but what can you do? Other than that, it was really good. And then I also watched the movie, which I actually really enjoyed. And yeah, I think it was really true to the book, because I know I recognized some quotes that they put in there that were straight from the book, and I really liked that. But anyways, yes, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. So yes, just the drunk driving thing really bothered me. And the last book that I read was Suicide Notes by Michael Thomas Ford, and I really liked this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5, I think. It's not sad, and it was a huge plot twist when you find out why he killed himself. Or he didn't kill himself. Well, he tried to kill himself. That's because he wakes up, Jeff wakes up in a hospital on New Year's Day because he tried to kill himself. So yeah. Anyways, I really enjoyed this, and I think it's really good if you really enjoyed It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Now, on to the books that I'm going to read in July. I've already finished one book, which I will mention quickly, and that is In Deep by Tara Ellen McVoy. This is an arc. This comes out July 8th, and so I'm going to try and get my review up on my blog before then. And sent into my local bookstore, because I do reviews for my local bookstore. I've mentioned that a billion times. But yes, I kind of enjoyed this. I gave this a 3.75 out of 5, or a 4 out of 5. I will have a review up on my blog about this soon. That's the book that I read, and now I'll show you the books that I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, and you guys, you should be proud of me because I'm on page 410. That's right, people. Yeah. I'm reading this along with Cassandra. She has a YouTube channel as well, Book Baby. I will leave her channel down below. And yeah, we're reading this together, and I'm really enjoying it. We're supposed to be reading 48 pages a day. I'm really enjoying this book, and I'm excited to finish it up. I'm also reading Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne. I've been reading books between Game of Thrones just because I wanted to read other books while I was reading that, because it's a big book, you know what I mean? Just feel. But anyways, yes, this book, guys, is so good. I've been wanting to read this for about a year now, probably more than a year. I'm so happy that I finally have my hands on this. It's so amazing. It reminds me of the game. What am I speaking? I can't speak. It reminds me of the Gone series by Michael Grant. The writing, I think, is amazing. It's so well written so far, and I really like the characters. I'm very happy that I'm liking it because it's just so amazing, and I believe it's a trilogy. So yes, I'm very excited. Okay, now on to some of the books that I might read in July. Now, there are a lot of books that have been previously mentioned in previous TBRs, but we're gonna go with it because maybe I'll actually read them this month. Anyways, first book is If I Stay by Gail Foreman. The movie is coming out in August, and it is a short book, so I'm hoping to read it before the movie comes out. And yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about this, so I really want to read it. And let me see if I can do the thing. It's not really working. Is it working? I don't know. Alright, so if anything is different, my camera died and I had to charge it. Now that I'm thinking about it, this TBR pile is very ambitious, So we shall see what we get through. But anyways, continuing on. Next is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. And I've heard so many good things about this. I'm very excited for this. And it's so pretty. Like, the design on this is amazing. And like, do you see this? There's this picture here in the back. And it's so nice. And I'm so excited. So, yay. Next is Tease by Amanda again, I'm just going to call her Amanda M because Maciel, I don't know. My white balance is totally off. Come on, get back to normal. But yes, I'm very excited to read this and I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. Next is Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead, and I read the rest of this series, or like the beginning 3 books, the beginning of the year, I think, and I really liked it, and I just never had the motivation to read this book because of a certain something, and I'm freaking spoiled. This buttface in my class told me he just spoiled me again, and I was like, what the heck? Every time I would start reading a book and then be like, oh, do you remember? Like, just letting you know, this happens in Vampire Academy. No, please stop. Please. I am spoiled. I know what's happening. I just want to finish the series. Next is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I really want to take this off, but I'm afraid that it's going to be all sticky. I'll fix that later. Anyways, I'm so excited to read this. I've heard so many great things about this, and Ruin and Rising came out recently, so there's been a lot of talk about this trilogy, and I've heard that it's amazing, and honestly I have no idea what it's about, but I'm so excited. Next book that I want to read is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I actually started reading this and I got like a couple chapters in, but I was reading this while I was reading Game of Thrones, like trying to read it in between, and it just wasn't working. I wasn't really enjoying this as much as I wanted to because I was trying to like juggle 2 fantasy books. So I put this down, and I'm definitely going to read it after I finish Game of Thrones. So yes, I just put this down, even though I really liked the main character and I really liked the book so far. I just couldn't balance 2 fantasy books at the same time. Next book I want to read, and I really need to read because I just have to. It's Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Yes, I know, I haven't read The Infernal Devices, but I read City of Heavenly Fire, so I kind of spoiled myself in a way, which I don't really like. I love you, Cassandra Clare, but why would you put spoilers of a different series into the series? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would you do it? I don't know, but she did it, so I'm kind of spoiled, but to be honest, I don't really remember anything because those things just kind of went whoosh over my head because I didn't know what was going on. So I think it's finally time for me to read this, and if I like it, I'll continue and read Clockwork Prince and maybe even Clockwork Princess and read the whole trilogy. Who knows? Also, I might read Killer Instinct by S.E. Green. It's about a girl who studies serial killers, and then there's a serial killer in her town, and then she gets in too deep pretty much, and then she is contacted by this serial killer, and so she's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I'm really, really excited, and this cover and spine, and wait for it, look at it. It's so beautiful. Do you see this? And the last book, and this book I am definitely reading this month, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I am so excited. It's set in Paris, and I really, really love Paris. I visited last year. Actually, I was in Paris at this time last year. It's just, I'm so excited, and I love the name Etienne. Etienne. Wow, that's such a cool name, and it's so French and so posh. It's like, yeah, je m'appelle Etienne. Hello. Anyways, yeah, I'm really excited for this, and then I'm really excited for Lola and the Boy Next Door, and then Isla, I don't know how to say that. How do you say that? Isla and the Boy, or Isla and the Happily Ever After. that comes out in August, and I just really like all these covers and how they match, and it's just I really just want to read as much as I can before school starts because grade 11 is gonna be cray. I'm taking AP courses and it's just gonna be crazy. I watch so many book videos and it's gotten me in such a mood to read. Like, you know when you watch so many book videos and you're just like, I need to go read right now? That's what I'm feeling right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you read last month and what you're planning on reading this month. And if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned and what you thought of them, let me know in the comment section below. That rhymed. I'm a poet. I don't even know it. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Yes, I will see you guys with my next video, whatever and whenever that may be. Okay, bye! God only knows.